Hey everybody, it's InnoVision! We've been getting some questions from folks on Reddit about the performance of Baldur's Gate 3 on the ROG Ally X. And so I've got it loaded up right here. I'm in Act 1. The game's a little bit more demanding in further acts, but I haven't had as much time to play the game as some other people out there. That's because I'm spending most of my free time making videos. But I'm in this spot where there's some like green smog on the screen, which makes it a little bit harder to render. And so I'm running right now with the 13 watt TDP setting. I'm using 720p with the Radeon Super Resolution upscaling to the 1080p. And I've got my game set at the low preset, except for model and texture quality set to medium. And so at the lowest TDP setting, you can see the game's running, 19 frames, 20 frames per second. It's kind of, choppy. Notice here we've got our frame counter on the right hand side of the screen. And so just walk around a little bit, kind of seeing what the frame rate's like. So let's go ahead and bump it up to 17 watt TDP. Alright. So at 17 watts TDP, let's give it a second to catch up here. We're getting about 45 frames per second in this green smog area, which is pretty respectable. If we walk back up here where the smoky smog effect's not in play, we're hitting around 60 frames a second. That's totally respectable for this spot. As you have more things going on and more drawing at a distance, you're going to see the game engine get bogged down a little bit. And it's important with games like this, on consoles like this, to really kind of tweak the settings. You're going to have to play with it. We could go with a lower resolution, but this game's too beautiful, so I'm kind of like bordering the edge of what I consider playable frame rates. I like 60 frames a second. So now let's bump the TDP up to the highest TDP setting. This is the performance preset here. So look at that. We're well above 60 frames a second. So let's go back to the smoky, smoggy area. And that looks great. We're still staying, around 50 frames per second. That's great.
Fine. What's on your mind? I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me.
So there you have it, Baldur's Gate Act 1, 3 different TDP settings. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, so you can see all the amazing gaming tips, tricks, and mods we've got coming down the pipeline.